We welcome to the show Christopher Ellis. How's it going, Chris?
Respect, sir. Respect, man. It's going great, man. Great.
Great. So, you're performing this weekend, aren't you? Sunday at the Jazz Café in London. How much are you looking forward to it?
Oh, man. So looking forward to it. You know, it's my favourite place to perform in the world, you know, to be honest with you. And I'm looking forward to it immensely. Trust me.
So, last year it was a big year for you, wasn't it? Because you had your great single, Here We Are. It was actually our #1 reggae song of last year on the show.
Yeah, respect, man. The show, I mean, the song done really well last year. The song was a big song for me. It done well for the whole duration of the year, and that's the first single from my album. My album will be out around about the summer. That's the only song that is out so far that will be on the album, you know?
So how many tracks are on the new album, and what's the name of it?
So there's 12 tracks on the album, and the album is called Inheritance. You know, Inheritance. That's what we decided. 12 brand new tracks that I heard before. Only Here We Are is the only song that is out already. But yeah, 12 brand new songs for the people.
So what was the process like of putting together this album? Did it take you a little while?
Well, this album's been way overdue, because I'm signed to the Marley's record label, so I've been doing this album with them for quite a few years now. But the album is always... So, for example, we started working on the album 2013, and then we decided, let's turn it into an EP. So we cut it in half, and we put out an EP called Better Than Love. So that was supposed to be an album, but we decided to do an EP, and it was super successful. It was great. And I've been putting out singles between then and now, but this is the time for the album now. It's been way overdue. I've spoke about the album for years and never ever manifested an album, but now is the time. So, I'm looking forward to it so much. First album from Christopher Ellis, debut album, Inheritance.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it, and yeah, it is quite a big deal, isn't it, making an album?
Yeah, for sure. And having an album is a great thing mainly for the artists, because nowadays, people buy the songs they want anyway. They just pick the songs that they like anyway and buy. But I feel like an album is more for the artist to say, you know what, this is my album, this is my baby. Every artist wants to have an album. Every artist wants to have an album. So this is my album after all this time, finally done.
Great. So with the tracks that are going to be on this album, is it going to be a mixture of songs? Is there going to be some love songs in there, some faster tunes? And
yeah, exactly. This album here is... The flavors on there are probably something they've never heard from me before, They've never heard me in this world, But I have the usual style of Christopher Ellis on there. Then I step out into some different kind of styles and different flavors. So I'm anxious to display these songs to the world, 12 songs. 12. I feel like nowadays, sometimes there's too many songs on an album. Like 18 songs, 20 songs is way too much, in my opinion, for an album. So 12 solid tracks is enough.
Yeah, quantity over quality, really, I guess.
Exactly that.
And I guess it flows nicely together like an old-fashioned album, an LP, or you can just put it on and listen to the whole album. Yes,
exactly. You just play it from track 1 to track 12, and solid tracks, and that's all you need, really. Solid songs that people will love, and 1 or 2 standout singles, and yeah, man, success.
And you're also going to be performing with David Rodigan, aren't you? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so that's with an orchestra. That's an interesting one. That's on the 3rd, I think the 2nd or 3rd of March. That one is. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd. I can't remember. But yeah, that's very soon as well. So that's with Rodigan. And Bitty McLean's also on there, so that's great as well, He's another giant in music over here in the UK. So I'm looking forward to that, for sure. Definitely.
And another gig you got is Mothers Are Special Dinner Ball. This is on Sunday, the 11th of March.
Yeah, that's in the countryside. I think that's Manchester, that one. So that's a nice little PA event there out in the country. So, yeah, man, we're working, we're working. And I feel like after the album drops in the summer, then we can really put a tour together and go on the road consecutive days, and go on tour, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a tour.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So that's what I'm looking forward to very much.
Lots of dates, then, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's great, man. This is what I wanted for myself. I imagined this for myself from when my dad was alive. I really was pushing for these things to be an artist, as Christopher Ellis. and to be out there and being booked by promoters and being seen as an artist, you know, being viewed as an artist who we want to book, who we want to see live. So yeah, and I'm telling people now, man, Sunday's going to be crazy at the Jazz Café. You know, we'll have some dynamic things in store for the people. Anytime we step on stage, we want to do it big. We want to be dynamic. We want to amaze people, impress people. So Sunday, the Jazz Café, Camden, standing tickets still available. Upstairs sold out, but standing tickets still available. And boy, I've got a show in store for the people.
Fantastic. Yeah, I went to the Jazz Café a few years ago. I think they've done it up since then. Yeah, I saw Maxi Priest. It's a nice intimate venue, isn't it?
Yeah, nice intimate venue. It's been refurbished now, so it's very plush, you know, and very high class, and it looks nice. I passed through there yesterday, in fact, to see Maccabee. You know, I passed through there yesterday, so I just got a little feel of the place. So Sunday, we're gonna turn it on, you know.
Great. What was he performing at the Jazz Café, Maccabee?
Yeah, he's performing yesterday at the Jazz Café. So I went down there and I took in his show. His show was nice, you know. He had an opening band, a band open for him. Then he came out and he had the people in his palm, boy. Crazy.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I saw him last year at the One Love Music Festival in Tunbridge Wells. Yeah, he was fantastic then as well.
Okay, yeah man, big up Maccabee.
So who are some of your influences? I mean, obviously your father has to be a big influence.
Yeah. After my father, you know, when I was a young boy, one of my favorite singers was Ken Booth, you know. After my father, like Ken Booth was one of the singers that I really used to play his music over and over. He just had a style that was his voice had that golden thing that I liked, and you know, Ken Booth and John Holt were my two singers, you know. And then I started to branch out and listen more to other artists like Delroy Wilson, and you know, those artists, you know. And it's funny because most people discover Bob Marley first, whereas I discovered like Ken Booth and Ken Booth and John Holt were my, you know, those are the two artists who I discovered in the music, you know, after my dad. So those are my favorite singers. But yeah, I mean, many influences still from other genres, like, because obviously like Usher, and these guys are my generation, so I started to turn to Usher and hear how they sing that soulful style. And okay, you know, groups like 112 and Boyz II Men was my soul acts that I used to listen to, you know. But within the reggae, it was like Alton Ellis, Ken Booth, John Holt, Delroy Wilson. It was that kind of world, you know.
Yeah, great singers, timeless music, isn't it?
Definitely.
So out of your contemporaries, what reggae singers from today do you like?
Today, my favorite singers are Jacquier and Taurus Riley. You know, those two, I think it's because they're like my generations, close to my generation, so I really look up to those guys, and, you know, I always look how they, you know, the songwriting, style of singing, it's just awesome. You know, Kyo is one of my favorite, Kyo and Taurus, and, you know, there's many artists I like Damon Marley. He's like one of my favorite artists. You know, who else is there that I really, really like? I like Gappy Ranks from the UK. Gappy's a great songwriter. People don't understand this, you know. Gappy's a great songwriter, Gappy Ranks, trust me. You know, but there's so many artists to name still. Beres Hammond, you know, he's one of the pillars in this thing, one of the main pillars. You know, Beres, everyone loves Beres, young, old, and everyone loves Beres, you know. So yeah, those are the guys I really kind of draw towards.
Yeah, you named some great singers there, and I suppose you've always sung, haven't you?
Yeah, from as far as I can remember, you know, the first time I was given a mic, I was like 3 years old, and my dad took a picture of me and put it on the cover of his album. His album's called Continuation, and I was 3 years old. So if you Google that album, you'll see me on the front with a microphone in my hand. I was only 3 years old, so that's where it really started. There, that's where it was sown. The seed was sown right there, you know.
And it's one of those things, isn't it? Once you've got the bug for it, you'll always do it, won't you?
Yeah, you got to have the love. The love will drive you to do it more than anything else, because when the days come where maybe you're financially not so happy at the moment or whatever, the love carries you through, you know. And I've experienced those days where, like, okay, you know, music isn't easy, and you have days when you're basking and you're happy, and yeah, man, 4 shows in 1 month and all these things, and then you have another time where it kind of dries up a little bit. But the love it keeps you going. You don't think, oh, I want to quit this, and I'm going to quit this. Love keeps you going, and the desire to make music and be on stage, and that's what it is for me. It's just that love there, and I feel like it isn't exclusive to singing. Any genre or any field, once the love is there, you will always be involved in that. You know, it has to be the love. I tell artists all the time, if you're coming into music for money, forget it. Stop right now. It takes years before you see a penny, you know? So it has to be the love to drive you. Trust me, it has to be the love.
Great. Well, it's been lovely to talk to you, Chris, and good luck.
Enough respect,
with the gig on Sunday, I'm sure it'll go fantastically well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I asked you before you came on, which tune of your father's would you like us to play, and you chose Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. What was the reason?
That song, I love like all of his songs and many more of them, but that song there, I think it's just something about that song, the way how he executed the song, the rhythm, the horns, the whole importance of that song there, because that song is used so many times. You know, if it's not lyrics, it's the rhythm. If it's not the rhythm, it's the horns. And I just love the way how he executed it on that Duke Reed take there. You know, Treasure Island. So that was the reason I picked that song there. You know.
Great. Thanks a lot for joining us on the show, Chris.
Yeah, man. One more thing I want to say.
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just type Christopher Ellis in the search, and I'll come up at the top. Follow me. I'm very interactive on the Instagram, you know. And like I say, Sunday, Jazz Café. Big up all the listeners. Enough love. Let's keep spreading love. Enough respect.
We'll be there. Thanks, Chris.
Love.